Hey everybody, so today I'm going to be doing an update on the GoldSteve series. I think we're going to be up to episode 8, and I know it's been a few weeks since the last episode. Truly, I kind of took 1 week off of posting because I understand that all of us have busy lives, so sometimes you're going to take a week off. I just got really busy. I didn't make an update post, and so I had to go ahead and get a little bit less rewards, a little less cards for like 1 week, but we'll go ahead and take a look at the account, see how I'm doing. So we'll start off on the blog. I just did a social post this week, and I'm going to be doing the share your battle tomorrow. As you can see, my last post was a share your battle from 12 weeks ago and an account update from 15 days ago. I'm still doing really good on my rewards on these. As you can see, this one was pushed all the way up to $29, which really saved me, because we are getting those big votes from the team, and a few times a few random people have given me votes that have helped push that up a little bit. I'm still not voting for this account. If you continue to post like this, you can. I won't lie, I might be getting a little extra benefit because anyone who's following my series might be giving me a little bit of help. We'll go ahead and look at this wallet. I just emptied it out the other day to do some shopping, and so we'll be talking about that. So as you know, I don't keep any Hive or HBD really in the wallet, but I'm not powering down. So we're up to 73 Hive on the account. We started with 20. So as you can see, we've already almost 3x'd our amount of Hive power on the account, considering we only started with a $20 investment because Hive was roughly $1. Hive is still roughly $1, so we're at $80 over here. Now, the account is quite, been around for quite a while now, but still, as you can see, I started with that original $150, and eventually my Hive account will be worth over $150. Then, theoretically, you could cash out your Hive account, stop blogging, stop posting at all if you didn't want to, or it was too busy for you, and your entire Splinterlands trip would be free. But if you want to keep pushing that Splinterlands account up to where it will be at a higher level and make more money, you continue with the blog. And at some point, when you don't want the blog anymore, when you don't want to do the share your battle post anymore because you don't need those $10, $20, $30 posts anymore, then you go ahead and you cash this out and buy a bunch of Splinterlands cards, move yourself up a little bit, or just put it in the bank. And like I said, you're playing with house money. This is the secret to the Hive blog along with the Splinterlands game. Eventually, you can be playing this game by cashing out every dollar you put in, and it almost doesn't matter which amount of money you put in. It's just going to take longer time if you're somebody who starts with a bigger budget. All right, let's go ahead and check out the account on Peak Monsters when it comes to the current value. So the current value of my cards is $146. So the overall value of the account and the cards is just about $130. Plus I have another $11 in DEC, so that gives us up to $240. And I haven't looked on the account in a while. I haven't done anything with the SBSS, but I have another 10 to claim, so that should push us up to about $4 in here. But overall, I'm above that 150. I've been playing the account for a couple weeks, and some of the big news on the account is that I did get invited to a guild. So we'll go ahead and we'll go over here to the guild tab, and we'll talk about this for the first time in the series. Now, getting into a guild is not something I think you should really worry about until you consistently can play in silver. I actually might have done this a little bit early because I'm going to have to take some of my dark energy crystals that I'm earning from blogging and go ahead and do the kind of things that you're going to be required to in most guilds. Possibly, if you can get into one that they don't require you to donate to the guild, that would be amazing. There's a few of those out there that exist, and I might start one up if you guys want. Maybe just raffle off those spots to some of my followers. But then again, if it's a free guild and no one is putting money into it, it's not going to level up very high, and you're not going to be able to do very much. So I got invited to this Consciousness Guild. I don't know if they watch my streams or why they went in and asked me to join them, but they sent me an invite, so I joined. We don't have a lot of people in here, and I did my first donation to they wanted us to donate to the Brawl store right now, because we're trying to get that to the point where they can start getting the Gladius packs. And I did my first brawl and I went 2-6. It's quite tough with my rented cards. I did not rent a Mylor or a Llama. I kind of was auto losing to those two cards as well as Lorena. And I was like, yep, I don't have those cool cards. So I'm going to have to think about timing my brawl to where I do all my battles on the last day. I rent a few summoners to help me out, and I go ahead and use those so that I can compete and do better for the guild. We can hopefully win more rewards, because as you can see, I only got 192 merits, and I would need 2,000 merits to get my first Gladius pack. Gladius cards are just free power, and they allow you to go ahead and get into the brawl. Any kind of free extra power on a low level account is pretty cool. So it does pay to get into a guild. There also are some other benefits. If you go ahead and look at the lodge here, I get a 2% DEC bonus for being in a guild. It's not much, but it's a few extra DEC in a season. And then if we get the arena up to level 2, it'll allow us to get our store up to level 2. So you can see that basically they're asking us to go ahead and deposit 150 DEC to the store every brawl. They're probably pushing this until they can get enough to get this up to level 2, because that's important to be able to go ahead and buy those things. When you're in a guild, the main buildings you need to level up are your lodge, your hall, because you can't get anything higher than the hall. Then the lodge to get those bonuses. This one's kind of automatic though, because it's just by quest. So if your members are playing the game and they're in their quest, this will level up to the highest level that you currently can have thanks to the hall. So this one's kind of a nice thing that you don't have to pay for. The arena you do have to pay for, but you don't really have to worry about getting this past level 1 in the beginning if you're starting a new guild. The barracks, you don't need to level up at all. This is completely optional. That's why there's almost no DEC by this guild put into it. It does help you out to be more competitive in the brawls, as it adds bonuses to your team that are all locked here until you get them. Basically, you can like ban other summoners. You can add an extra mana to your team. This is stuff that bigger guilds do, but if you're in a smaller guild, they probably won't be focusing on the barracks. The store, everyone's going to push it to get to at least level 2, because that's when you can buy Gladius cases, and that's when you can get your special cards. Power Stones and Bloodstones aren't until far later on, so you're going to be opening these packs without potions, but that's not a huge deal. Now, if we go back to Peak Monsters, I'll go to my rewards account. My Explorer. I've actually had a bit of some unlucky stuff going on, because I've been getting lots of potions, but I had 2 times recently where in the midst of doing my quest in silver, and it was still on my screen silver, I actually lost a card and got knocked back down to bronze and didn't realize it. And this happened to me 2 times in a row, and I only got 1 chest each of those days. Luckily, I didn't pull any credits, but other than that, I just haven't gotten lucky. There's nothing really to scream at. But let's go ahead and talk about my post that I did. So if we go here, if you're looking for updates onto this account, you can come here and sometimes see posts that give you an idea of what will be in the videos. But I'm targeting these 4 cards as my first cards to get to level 3. This is because I feel like these cards are a very good lineup for level 3. I've already talked about the fact that this one will be doing a General Sloan account. So I put in some bids, as you can see. If we go over to Peak Monsters, we can go ahead and go to my profile, look at my bids, and we can see how they're doing. So I picked up 2 General Sloans, but it looks like somebody outbid me. I haven't picked up any of the other cards yet that I have these bids out on, but I'm not going to up the price that I'm willing to pay for them at this point, because I'm not in a big hurry, because until I get a General Sloan all the way up to level 3, there's really no point. So let's go ahead and look at the cards, and we'll look at the life team, and I'll talk more about why I decided to go for them at level 3. The main reasons are because they have competitive rewards cards that are actually pretty useful. General Sloan is the cheapest one, and they're actually a pretty good silver team. Chaos Knight is a very cheap card that is comparable to a Shield Bearer as you level it up, and you play it with some other cards that can help it out, like the Jin Renova that gives it an extra HP. This is a card that is not too expensive. General Sloan, as you can see, I'm going to have If I get my other one from the bid, I'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll have 5 of them, and only need a few more. Or actually, I'm trying to buy 2 more. I've only gotten 1, so we'll see how quickly I can get this to level 2. But we're also getting the Venari Crystal Smith for free right now. That card goes great with General Sloan, so I'll be able to get this to level 3. The Pellicor Arbalist is a great card because of the double attack, so I'm going to keep leveling this one. But because of its slow speed, the Time Mage is very important. Also, I can probably look into starting to carry an Ooze, because you need to slow the other team down so your big DPS doesn't miss. Those cards really do pretty well. When you can't play the Chaos Knight and mana is lower, the Pellicor Conjurer comes in great, and that's another rewards card. As you can see, I have a good amount of those. Should get it to level 4 pretty soon, and I can always go ahead and take some of those rewards and level that card up. One of the things that we found out we're going to have to do, though, is maybe stop relying on some of these ghost cards like I do, because we're not going to earn rewards after the new change to the update. I've already done a full video about that update. I think it's huge for the market, but it does potentially hurt some of the players that started out with a bit of a budget. But one of the great things is it seems to be coming out around the same time Modern is coming out, and so then at least you won't have to compete with those beta cards and those older rewards cards. You'll be able to focus in on these cards. I won't have to rent a Silver Shield Assassin anymore, and I can look into maybe renting some of these if I'm not going to be purchasing them. I have to admit, when the Untamed set goes out, which is still like a year away, when it gets rotated out, when the set after Chaos Legion, the full set after Chaos Legion comes out, which is quite a ways off, obviously, as Chaos Legion is still for sale, and Rift Watchers is a mini set, and then eventually at some point, which we won't know until those sets sell out, they're going to go ahead and release the next full set of cards, and that's in theory when the Modern set will go ahead and push Untamed out, and Untamed will go into the Wild set. That's going to be a definitely interesting and fun time in the video series, because I think I'll be debating whether or not I should be selling my Untamed cards at that time or moving them to the mines. It's going to be hard to tell. So, let's see, what else do we need to go over? We went over joining the guild. We went over why I'm leveling General Sloan. I can tell you that the next team I would have been updating for this account is going to be Death. So the Death team will be the next one that I push up, because it is a very competitive deck without a doubt. You have cards like the Grim Reaper that are just like really good and not that expensive to rent usually. And again, the rewards cards for them are not quite as competitive. This is why I didn't choose the Death team. We can also look over at the Earth team, and while they have some rewards cards that are not too bad, they don't really play with the new Summoner, right? So as you can see, you get the Pellicor Mercenary. He's a pretty good tank, but you're still going to you can get away with using Grum. The Unicorn Mustang is a lot better at lower levels. He doesn't really get good until Gold. So it'd be interesting, like once I have all these teams in the Silver, Earth could be the good first team that I try to go to Gold in, because I can get a Pellicor Mercenary level 7 with an auto heal, and he is a really good tank. But we'll have to decide. First, we need to work on getting to Silver. So it's probably going to go Life, Death, then Earth. As far as Water, if we look at them, this one's kind of interesting, because the rewards cards that you're currently getting is only really these two here. I haven't been getting very lucky in pulling any Wavesmiths, so that's probably why I decided not to aim for Water, not to mention Kelia here. She's the most expensive of the summoners. If we look at the market, summoners, I believe. Yeah, I have it priced the other way around. So let's switch it up. So see, this one's $250. This one's $435. That means if you're going to buy 3 of these for $860, you can, just 2 of these for $860, you can almost buy 3 or 4 of these. And since realistically, when you're playing in Silver 3, by the end of the season, just having teams at level 3, you'll be very competitive. Now, I skipped Tarsa at this point. I could do a 180 and go to getting Tarsa, but I think I'm just going to be skipping the fire team for now. I don't think you need to play every single team. It could make you get hosed out on a quest one day if you get super unlucky, but most of the time just do your quest unless it's fire and then go off of fire. I think that that's an okay play, even though Tarsa is pretty good. And then what I'll do is eventually on this account, hopefully, before I give up, I'll pull a gold foil epic or a gold foil legendary card, and I'll go ahead and sell that legendary gold card, and I'll use it to buy my Tarsa summoners. But also, we could have Rift Watchers come out by the time that happens, and I could look to get a fire summoner from that set. It's going to be one of those things that we kind of play at. I do think that going with this, you could focus like I am on just 3 teams. I could get them all leveled up to 3 and then get them leveled up to 4, and it would be pretty solid. I don't have a dragon team though, so basically for me, I'm going to be focusing on these 4, which will allow me to eventually have, 4 pretty strong teams, and then I'll work on getting my hands on a dragon summoner, mostly just because it gives you one more playable team for questing and one more playable team for other stuff. But dragon summoners are relatively expensive, and if you're at a limited budget like this account, I don't think really going dragons is worth it. Pick one of these niches, stay within it, and you can still win and progress like I've been doing. I still need to do my quest today. I'll be going for water, but as you can see, I'm playing in Silver 3. I have a decent amount of rented power through the end of the season, but we'll see how many of these people decide to try to cancel that out and play the rental games with me or not. That's why I have a decent amount of DEC here, but hopefully it won't be too bad at the end of this season. All right, so that's really the update on this account. It started with $150. It started about 2 months ago. It's now got a Hive account that's worth $80, an account, a Splinterlands account that's worth $150. So overall, we're looking at having around $230, $240 worth of value from starting this account and starting this blog from a $150 investment. So it won't be long before we have a 100% return, and then it won't be long before this account is pushing up until the hundreds and thousands of dollars. It does take time to do the blog posts. It does take effort to play the game. This is not something that's super free. And do know that if you started with a bigger amount of money, the blog posting is less impactful the further you are in. I know on my main account, I kind of stopped doing the blog posts, which is probably a mistake, but I was like, my account's worth thousands and thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars even. Why should I blog for $20 or $30? That's kind of the wrong mindset to get into, so hopefully I won't fall into that again. Thanks everybody for checking out my channel, subscribing. Make sure you check out my Splinterlands Town Hall video. It's my most watched video in a while, and if you didn't check it out, you should. I'll be doing my Nintita Estate video tomorrow with the property giveaway. If you just want to learn a little bit about this game, you can watch either one of these 2 videos, and then you can come by for the live stream tomorrow and hopefully maybe win that NFT. I'm giving away 3 of them, and only like 6 people entered so far, so maybe check that out. Bye.